Hey, what's up guys? So I know you guys have asked me a bunch of times to get my wife into the video, and so she said that she would eventually. Right now she doesn't have the time to do it, but she did say she wanted to do the next best thing, which is to pick out 6 of her favorite warm weather fragrances from my collection that she absolutely loves. And so I'm going to go through all 6 of those. And so without further ado, let's kick it.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back to cut the shit and spit straight facts about 6 fragrances in my collection that are for warm weather that my wife absolutely adores. And I'm actually surprised by the amount of versatility in different types of fragrances she chose here. She left a few out and added an extra one because there was specific reasons why she did that, and I'll let you know. So yeah, before I get into the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications. I really appreciate it, and so let's get into this here. Again, I'm surprised by the versatility in the different types of fragrances. The first one is Valentino Born in Roma Yellow Dream, or Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Yellow Dream. The main notes in this are pineapple, ginger, spices, and vanilla. Also, there is a bit of gingerbread. If you hear those notes, a lot of people think fall, winter. No, this fragrance, it has a bit of freshness, a decent amount of freshness actually, that it's good for daytime or nighttime, pretty much any season. I just would stay away from the really hot days in summer, but this is great for nighttime in the summer especially. The rest of the year, it's great day or night. What you get in the opening, you get this pineapple ginger sweetness mixed with some of that spice and some of that vanilla, but they're more background nuances. As you get through the mid into the dry down, some woods come out, that vanilla creeps up heavily, you get some of that spice in there, and then the pineapple starts to dissipate as well as the ginger. But the fragrance doesn't change too much as you get into the dry down. It is really nice. It's a semi-gourmand fragrance that everybody needs to get their nose on. And honestly, I am surprised that this is underhyped. There is not a lot of traction on here. People really hate on this on Fragrantica, which isn't surprising. They hate on a lot of Valentinos, but this is one that you definitely need to try out. It is in one of my top 10, especially for sweet gourmand fragrances. Valentino Yellow Dream. That was her first choice, and she absolutely loves this fragrance. Every time I spray it on, she always goes, "Oh, I want to eat you." So the second one here is what she calls my scent. This is Dior Homme Sport 2021. The main notes in this are lemon, bergamot, aldehydes, and woods, and that is what you get. This is a bit of the Dior Homme DNA mixed with a heavy dose of citruses. And so you get that lemon, that bergamot, and those aldehydic notes right off the opening. And then once you get, and the lemon and the bergamot and the citruses stay there longer for a citrusy note that usually dissipates really quickly in most fragrances. The citruses stay here for a long period of time, but once they start to dissipate, the woods come up, the aldehydes come up, and you're left with a semi-citrusy, woody aldehydic base. It's a really nice fragrance. Dior Homme Sport 2021, what I believe to be the best release of the year for a fresh fragrance. I'm still hand in hand on if it's the best of the year or most wanted parfum, but they are very close, but 2 different fragrances. Dior Homme Sport 2021, she calls it my scent. Even if I'm not wearing it and she smells it somewhere else, she says it smells like Randy. So Dior Homme Sport 2021, great choice. The third one is another 2022 release, and that is Boss Bottled Marine Limited Edition. The main notes here are frosted apple, cinnamon, clary sage, and woods. So what you get in this fragrance, the opening is a 10 out of 10. There's not many other fragrances out there but that have the nice, sweet apple, frosted apple, cinnamon note in there. The apple, it has, I know frosted apple is a weird term, so I'm just gonna call it apple here. You get that apple, you get that cinnamon, and you get a bit of this freshness in the background, a slight marine accord, but not much. Even though this is called Boss Bottled Marine, it's not much of a marine fragrance. It's more of a sweet fragrance. Then once you get into the mid and the dry down, it does change and you get more of this clary sage and wood mixture. which makes it about an 8 out of 10, but not as great as the opening, but still in a fantastic fragrance. Doesn't last that long, it's about 4 to 5 hours, and it's great for spring and summer, although it's a multi-versatile fragrance, can be worn all year round. That's Boss Bottled Marine Limited Edition. A great addition to any person's random pulls. Even for me, I like to wear this almost as a signature scent during the spring and summer. But I have to wear it more. I've worn it probably 30 times so far, but I still need to figure out if it is part of my signature scent or not. That dry down compared to the opening. If the opening stayed from the opening to the end and it lasted a little bit longer, it would probably be one of my top 3 fragrances in my collection. So that is Boss Bottled Marine. The third one on my list is another 2022 release, and that is Lacoste Blanc Eau Fraiche. And so the 2022 releases, especially for the spring and summer, have been grade A. And so the main notes in this are grapefruit, lemon, juniper, ginger, and cedar. And that again is what you get here. It is a citrusy green fragrance, and you definitely get those green notes in there. That juniper plays a big role, but in the opening, you get this lemon grapefruit mixture, more lemon than grapefruit, and then you get this ginger that adds a bit of this fresh sweetness to it. Once you get through the mid into the dry down, that is where the juniper and cedar play the main roles. It's green, it's a slight bit of sweetness, and then you get that woods. But overall, if I had to call this fragrance anything, it would be a green, sweet, citrusy, aromatic fragrance. And that is all you need to know. It is a great fragrance, and she loves when I wear this, especially during the daytime or if I'm out gardening or something like that. She loves this type of fragrance. I wouldn't call it more of a going out fragrance. I like it more for when you're outside working, or if you're walking in the trail, or if you're taking your dog out for a walk. It's a great fragrance for that. The next one, going back to the sweet gourmand ones, Paul Gaultier's Le Beau. Another one that doesn't last a crazy amount of time, although it lasts about 5 hours, which to me is not terrible, and to me that's all you really need unless you're going out for an 8-hour trip, which then you know, wear one of your stronger fragrances. But for a 5-hour fragrance, this is great. The main notes here are bergamot, coconut, and tonka, although the bergamot is not a huge player in here. When you first spray it on and all the way through the base, you get 99% tonka and coconut mixture. Some of that bergamot is in the background, but it's less citrusy and more sweet. So the coconut's in there. It's not a huge player like a lot of people say. You can definitely tell it's there, but I would say it's about 80% tonka, which tonka is more like a vanilla. And then you get this creaminess mixed with that coconut, 20% coconut. It's a really nice fragrance. You get some aromatics in the dry down, but it is a great, if you're looking for a sweet gourmand fragrance to wear in the high heat, this is one that you can definitely wear. It doesn't have that cloying sweetness like the original Le Male does. It dials that down and provides some freshness and a little bit more of this fresh sweetness to that Le Male DNA, and then that's why they called it Le Beau. And it has a really pretty bottle. My wife loves the bottle, but that is number 5. Then the last one is YSL Y Eau Fraiche, which one I actually just got, but she can't stop smelling. She keeps walking around the house just smelling the cap, going like, I agree, it is really good. But it's another one of those ones that doesn't last that long. But again, I don't care. It's not a big deal to me if they last long or not. I mean, as long as it's not like a Tommy Bahama, where it's like a 2-hour fragrance or 20-minute fragrance. But YSL Y Eau Fraiche has the main notes of lemon, ginger, juniper, lavender, and cedar. And what you get in the opening, it's like fresh squeezed lemonade mixed with a little baby bit of the YSL Y DNA. It reminds me of Dior Homme Cologne, how Dior Homme Cologne is like a lemonade slushy mixed with the Dior Homme DNA. This is the same, a lemonade slushy mixed with the YSL Y DNA. You get that lemon, that ginger, and those play huge roles until you get about 25 minutes into the fragrance. Once you get into that mid, the juniper comes up, that lavender comes up, and the juniper gives it this like almost fruity sweetness and a bit of greenness in it as well. then the woods come out, the cedar, but for the most part, you get the same type of fragrance throughout the whole thing, except for you get a bit of that fruity sweetness and a bit of aromatics in the dry down. Really nice fragrance, really projects off your skin nicely, especially in the high heat. Heat activated, great fragrance, YSL Y Eau Fraiche. That was her number 6. She said she had to add it to the list. Even though it was one of my new fragrances, she couldn't stop smelling it. So there was another one that was supposed to be in this video, and that was Rasasi Hawass, but I did a video about it yesterday, and so I pulled it out of the video, but that would have been number 7. It was supposed to be top 7, but I pulled it out because I just described it yesterday. That is one of her favorites. It's a fruity aquatic. She loves the fragrance. If you want to know more about it, go see pretty much half my shorts and a video from yesterday. So thank you guys very much. That is my wife's that was my wife's top 6 fragrances. We had Lacoste Eau Fraiche, Le Beau, Boss Bottled Marine, Valentino Yellow Dream, Dior Homme Sport 2021, and YSL Y Eau Fraiche. All fantastic fragrances. She did a really good job. She got the gourmand sweet ones. She got the green ones. She has the sporty citruses ones, and then she has like the cologne type one. So anyway, great job, Jen. And I'll be back with another video. Thanks for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe.